Mr. Al-Kulala, the Minister of Trade of Qatar, to come and take a seat in the court.
Thank you, Mr. President and delegates. I speak on behalf of Suman More, who stands beside me because she speaks a language that is not a language of the ILO. I share with you what Suman has to say in her own words. I was born into an untouchable family in an untouchable quarter of a small village. We had no land and my father was a bonded laborer. During a severe drought, we were not allowed to touch the village water box. We left for the city to look for work when I was 9 years old. We were illiterate, had no money, no house, no work, just hungry bellies that we carried around with us. We started collecting recyclable materials that we could sell to the traders: bones, paper, plastic, metal, glass. We were part of what Sharon Barrows on Monday referred to as the desperation sector. This is not just my story, but that of millions of informal economy workers, recyclers, street vendors, domestic workers, garment workers, day workers, and others who are all part of the desperation sector. Every economic crisis swells our ranks. The researchers will tell you that women, Dalits, black people, intra-country and trans-border migrants, the dispossessed and the excluded, and their children are more likely to be in the informal economy. The global capitalist economy searches new markets as in the 21st century developing world, creating enormous quantities of waste. An estimated 24 million informal recycling workers, waste pickers and itinerant-based buyers in the developing world recover discarded materials from waste. We say to you that we are public service providers. We say to you that we cleanse the streets of recyclable materials. We provide environmental services ensuring an afterlife to materials by diverting them from streets and landfills into recycling. We sort and grade collected materials and reintroduce them into manufacturing. You could say that we are self-employed procurement agents for the manufacturing enterprises. We are important bottom of the pyramid recycling workers in the recycling value chain, and we create jobs downstream, in transport, intermediate materials processing, and in manufacturing. We are the guardians of the green economy, but our working conditions are far from decent. You can help to change this. Informal recycling workers in Asia, Latin America, and Africa are organizing, and we have made significant gains through our collective struggles. Our experiences have shown that when our situation improves, our children stop working. Today, I continue to be a recycling worker, but my son is a university-educated journalist. I am a member of a waste pickers trade union and also of a workers' cooperative that has a formal agreement with the municipal government. I represent the informal worker in transition. For recycling workers, the street is a combination of the mine, the oil, the forest, and the factory floor because paper, plastic, metal, glass are the most commonly collected materials. We operate on the streets not out of choice but because of the nature of our work. It is our workplace as it is the workplace of millions of informal workers in developing countries. Workplaces change with the nature of production. For many, information technology has made the home the workplace, as it has been for piece-rate contracted workers. We need to acknowledge that public space is a workplace, and the ILO's definition of the decent workplace incorporates provision for drinking water, washrooms, rest areas, and above all, earmarking of workspaces to ensure security of livelihoods. We call upon you to count us among workers. We call upon you, irrespective of whether we work on farms, in factories, in our homes, others' homes, or in public spaces, that we must be counted. Our contribution to the economy must be recorded and quantified. Our rights to organize into associations and unions, cooperatives, and to represent ourselves as workers, and our rights to social protection must be realized. Informal recycling workers must be paid for the public and environmental services that we provide. We manage public waste, and we must have access to recyclables to enable us to send millions of tons of materials back into production. Policies that dispossess us of the mines above the earth and encourage corporate accumulation accumulation by predatory waste management companies must be reviewed and dispensed with. Instead, we call upon governments to make public investments in worker cooperatives so that the profits are spread among the workers. These are some of the pathways to reduce the economic and social inequalities that we talk so much about these days. At this time, we end by remembering a street vendor who died yesterday of a heart attack in Lima, Peru, who after a protest demonstration went home and she had a heart attack and died. These are some of the struggles that we face daily on the streets. Thank you, Mr. President.